Lave radio? It's even louder than me. Hey, wait a minute. That can't be right.
One of the oldest colonies of the sector, Colonial Navy space cruisers scheduled an overrun reached the system designated L-453 in 2412. The star system was at that time unique.
Lave was most famous for its vast rainforests and the Lavian tree growth. Much of the rainforest has now been cut down, and the famous shrub is now extinct.
This is Lave Radio. You're listening to the Dex Legacy science fiction drama by Emily Inkpen, produced by Alternative Stories.
Previously on the Dex Legacy. In the wake of the Rome missile disaster, the devastated and guilty Zenosi government claimed ignorance about the nature of the explosive they bought and subsequently launched. Accusatory fingers pointed across the globe, and Nathaniel Dex, the controversial weapons manufacturer and self-proclaimed state leader, refused to shoulder the blame. In the meantime, Nathaniel's spy master, Tristan Crail, carried out a test on an even more devastating trio of Dex weapons. While on their first deployment in Dominar, Nathaniel's adopted children, Varian, Isra, and Ren, were all captured by the enemy. Not knowing how any of them performed during their interrogations, Tristan disguised his agents as enemy soldiers, kidnapped all three, and subjected them to torture in a controlled environment, testing their fortitude and loyalty to the Dex state. None of the children broke, but many lines were crossed. In an effort to distract them from any justified feelings of rage and rebellion, Nathaniel ordered Devik to proceed with his next round of treatments, dulling the days of torture with yet more sickness and pain in the interests of furthering and stabilizing their excessively enhanced bodies.
Listening to episode 5 of The Dex Legacy, Fair Treatment, starring Chris Gregory, Warren Graham, Annika Cordes, Louis Watson, Kamara Elliott, Kelsey Griffin, Charlie Richards, Raki Sharma, Stevie Skinner, Danielle Ellett, John Baverton, and Emily Inkpen, with music by Dr. Alan Stroud.
President Dex, you have an urgent message from the International Confederation.
Really? How interesting. Read.
To President Nathaniel Dex of Dex Island. You are summoned to the International Confederation of World Leaders to settle the matter of responsibility for the Rhone missile disaster. You will be allowed to present evidence outlining your involvement, and you may defend yourself against the charges levied against you by the new Zenosi government. namely, that you willingly and in full knowledge of your actions did not communicate the power of the warhead sold, that you used Xenosi land to carry out an illegal weapons test on a populated area, that you are responsible for the deaths of over 3 million Xenosi citizens, final count ongoing, that you...
Otto, show me a list of those attending. Of course, no representative from the last Xenosi government will be in attendance to share the blame. I should have known.
Do you need information?
Always, Tristan. How long have you been there?
Long enough to have heard the message.
They have nothing on me, especially as everyone in attendance except the new Xenosi government put in orders for Rhone missiles within a week of the event.
What do they hope to achieve?
It's a circus. They should be offering me a seat at the table at this point, not dragging me into a trial.
A seat at the table?
Yes. The International Confederation is made up of the leaders of every nation.
I didn't realize not being on it bothered you so much.
It's a matter of principle. They still consider Dex Island to be a company and not a country.
If Dex Island's just a company, what nation do we belong to?
They haven't been able to work that out yet. You'd think they'd all be trying to claim us. The back payment in taxes alone would exceed most gross national products.
Well, I doubt they'll be trying now. If any country claims Dex Island at this point, they'll also have to deal with the fallout of the Rome missile disaster.
No. No one will touch us now. Of course, since they all started invading one another, the number of International Confederation members has decreased to 10. It's an elite group.
Indeed.
Devek, Osa.
Nathaniel, I know you are happy to take payments from North Jakra in gold and stones, but the amount of it arriving on our airfield, where are we going to keep it all?
I have vaults under the palace where it will be quite safe. It's been 15 years since North Jakra invaded Chakri, and they've finally found a use for what they found there. Perhaps the Heaven 1 airship you're building me will have solid gold wiring, Osa. You always said gold was the highest quality conductor.
Gozin is the highest quality conductor, Nathaniel, but there's so little of it we cannot begin to think about using it on a larger scale. As for gold, if you wanted to use all of the gold on one airship, I'd be happy to. They're big, Nathaniel.
I thought you said this one would be smaller than Angel City.
Not that much smaller. They still need to carry thousands of soldiers, plus crew, plus a swarm of light fighters. I don't think all the gold in Chakri could wire the Heaven 1.
Well, we'll have to find a use for it.
Activating map.
They're fortifying their border with South Jakra. That's interesting.
How so?
It means people won't be able to cross the border easily except at controlled checkpoints. It's what countries do when they want tighter control over their populations.
I do not care what they do with their people. They've paid us, so we are giving them what they want. We will need to increase our manufacturing capacity, Nathaniel. This is our largest defense network commission yet.
Oza, you're forgetting the automated missile defense system we built for Nadris.
That was big on innovation, Devek. This is big on scale.
I take it Varian, Isra and Ren will be going to the border next to oversee installation.
No, not yet, Derek.
No?
The Terrans from Tarnano will soon be blocking the Blood Road.
What? The Blood Road's been quiet for years. What do they hope to achieve?
Well, the mines are bare, Derek, so they aren't after riches. My sources tell me they want to reclaim certain mountain towns and territories that were lost when the Blood Road was built.
Which was 1,000 years ago.
Almost, Osa. Clearly they haven't forgotten.
What difference will it make to North Jakra? Tristan, do you foresee a drawn-out conflict here?
North Jakra won't surrender ground.
So they'll use our troops on the Blood Road, squash this inconvenience, then bring the Dex forces down to the border as originally planned.
I expect so.
Keep the intelligence coming in. I want no surprises.
Where are Varian, Isra and Ren now?
I finished my treatments 3 days ago. We'll be back on the training quad today.
Come.
You wanted to see me?
Beautiful girl, you look very well. How are your brothers?
They took it worse than me. I'm fine.
I need a moment alone with my daughter. Tristan tells me you've been different. He tells me that in the days you spent training after you returned home from Dominar, you've been angrier than you used to be, that the others have started to fear you.
Good.
Good?
They should fear me.
It's normal to be angry after an experience like yours. It's affected you. Talk to me about it. Tell me what you're feeling.
It doesn't make sense that it happened. I'm the best, and that happened to me. It doesn't make sense.
So you're training harder to make sure it doesn't happen again?
I suppose so.
It is likely to happen again. You're a target, and you're going to spend a lot of time in conflict areas in the future. It's an unfortunate reality you have to face, but what happened to you doesn't make you weak.
I know.
Channel your anger into fighting your enemies.
I am.
Varian and Ren are not your enemies, and neither are the others you train with. Our enemies will find new and interesting ways to fight us, and sometimes they will succeed in landing a blow. When that happens, you learn from it. You get knocked down during training every single day, and you keep getting up, and you keep fighting. This is just another type of injury.
It's not. It's different.
And how is that?
It's not like cuts and bruises. I get flashbacks. I feel it all the time. It's in my head.
You're putting too much emphasis on it. Like I say, the fact that it happened, it doesn't mean you're weak. It's just another injury you need to recover from. Just another knock. Put it behind you.
I'm trying.
Try harder. If you accidentally kill one of our assets in training, and you could, nobody's denying that, but if you do, I will be very unhappy. And you don't want to make me unhappy, do you?
No.
No.
I'd never kill Varian or Ren. Ever.
I hope not. They're the reason you're alive.
I hate that.
But it's true. Face your truth. Accept it. Process it and move on. I don't want to hear about this again. Do you understand? Find a way to move forward that won't affect your performance or the assets around you. That's your responsibility now. Do you understand?
Yes, but I don't know if I can.
You can and you will. You will because I'm telling you to. Do you know how much money I've invested in you? Making you the strongest and best soldier in the world. Do you have any idea what these years have taken out of the company in research and development? You will not throw all of that away because of an insignificant physical attack. I will not allow it. Get your head together. Do whatever it takes. Go to Devek and tell him to give you something if you need to, but get past it because failing me is not an option. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now go. You have processing to do.
Scan complete. Process.
Ugh, I can't wait to be out of here.
Tell me about it. I need to hit something. My arms are getting twitchy.
Is that even a thing?
It is for me. Where's Isra?
I don't know. Nathaniel wanted to see her.
She's had barely any side effects this time around.
Yeah, well, she got lucky, I guess.
You think she'll be okay in training today?
What do you mean?
When we were last on training quad, she was angry. I don't know if you've noticed, but she's changed a bit since Domino.
We've all changed.
Seriously?
What do you want me to say, Varian? She could be fine.
And she could be overly aggressive, lose control, and kill someone. You're not the same either.
Yeah, well, things were easier before.
Before you got captured, or before Isra did?
Both.
You survived it.
Before Dominar, I didn't realize people would be going out of their way to capture me and stick electrical probes up my fingers. It wasn't a good way to face the end, Varian. I always thought I'd die in battle, stabbed or blown up or something, but tied to a chair? Dying of thirst while a sadist cooked me from the inside out bit by bit? I never thought it would be like that.
We got you out. Isra and me. We got you out. And you and me, we got Isra out. That's how we work. We keep each other safe.
But we didn't, did we? We didn't keep her safe. Varian, when I went into that cave to get her, I tore everyone apart. They weren't in battle, they were just hanging out in that cave. 2 of them were injured.
Well, they were waiting too, right?
I don't know, maybe. The injured ones weren't. And I killed them anyway. I sliced a man from collarbone down through his ribcage and out the other side. And I'd do it again. I never felt like that before, but now I feel like I could cut up the whole world if I wanted. The only reason I'm not is because I don't want to. But I could.
I mean, technically, we're all like that. Because of these damn treatments.
But before I went into that cave, it hadn't occurred to me. I don't know what to do. She's so angry all the time now. Even when she's not, it's like she's on the edge of flipping out. Of course, you could always talk to her yourself. It doesn't all have to go through me. You're still her brother. Nothing that's happened between me and her has ever changed that. Or are you leaving it to me because it's easier?
That's not fair.
Huh, isn't it?
You were captured too. I wasn't. Not long enough for anything to happen anyways. I don't know what to say to her.
Yeah, well, neither do I. But I can't keep her from killing everyone on my own. So you're going to have to help me out.
Fine.
Fine.
Although after what you've just said, maybe I should be worrying about you too. Isra, what did Nathaniel want?
Nothing. How are you feeling?
Better than I was.
Are you ready to get back out there?
I'm ready. Let's go. Last time I done that assault course, it felt easier. I hate the first day back after treatments.
That's why we train, Varian. We get weak, we get strong. We get weak, we get strong.
Well, I'm ready to get some hits in. Isra, you pair with me. Ren.
I'm alright, Varian. I'm fine. You fight Ren. I can take Faris and Shiv.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll get back to you two once you're warmed up and an actual challenge.
Yeah, right.
Faris, Shiv, get over here.
You want us to fight?
Yes, Shiv. That's the idea. Don't worry. I'll go easy on you.
You said that last time, Is.
You're alive, aren't you?
Just.
Let's go. You going to pick yourself up, Faris? Or do you want me to come over there and kiss it better?
Screw you, Iz. Isra, are you okay?
I'm fine. Let's go again.
Ren, you're not hitting me as hard as you could be. Is everything okay?
I'm keeping an eye on Isra like you said we should.
We still have to train.
Variant Faris just got a hit in.
What?
Isra's off form. Something's up. Ooh.
How did Shiv get her?
What the... Oh no.
Help!
That's blood, Ren. She's puking blood.
Help.
It's all right, Iz. We're here.
Make it stop.
I'll take you to Devek. To the lab.
No. Please, no. Not again.
Did she pass out or is she dead?
Don't make me hit you, Faris.
She's passed out. I'm going.
I hit her in the stomach. I didn't mean...
This has got nothing to do with you, Shiv. Get out of the way.
Ren, what's going on?
I don't know, but this isn't from a single hit. I'll get her to Devek.
Go. I'll catch up.
I didn't mean...
You heard, Ren. It's not your fault, Shiv. Now, get back to what you were doing.
Running diagonal.
Good evening, Devek.
Oh, Tristan. What are you doing here?
Nathaniel sent me.
Of course he did.
I find this very interesting. You always talk about how you'd keep them safe in this lab if you could. But it's this lab that almost killed Isra this morning.
Almost killed her?
You're telling me that without immediate medical attention, she wouldn't have died today?
Oh, I'm certain she would have.
Tell me, do you still see yourself as a father to them?
Of course I do. They're my children. They always have been.
Wrong. They're Nathaniel's children.
He adopted them for me.
If that's true, why did he adopt them at all?
You know why. Dex Industries was based in Fenros at the time, and as their legal father, Nathaniel had more freedom over how we treated them. If they weren't adopted, the government might have kept a closer eye.
So why not allow you to adopt them yourself? Nathaniel lets you use them, Devik, but he remained in control to keep you from taking things too far.
What?
You're surprised?
It's only because he pushes them so far that I do what I do. I only give them the abilities they need to survive. He makes them fight, so I make them fast enough to stay ahead of the blows. I altered their bleeding cascade so they clot quicker when they're wounded. I changed their...
You do all of that with or without Nathaniel. Be honest. You'd do more if you could.
Of course, Tristan. To make them stronger. To protect them.
To protect them, of course. I've seen you administer your treatments, Derek. They cry and plead with you to stop, and you keep going. They scream in agony because of what you're doing to them from the inside out, and you keep going. They're sick and weak and broken from side effects, and you prep the next round.
At least what I do gives them a chance.
It gives you more data and facilitates your discoveries. That is all.
Oh. Hello, Oza.
I came as soon as I heard.
She's going to be fine. I don't know what all the fuss is about. Ren got her here in time, and I was able to intervene.
And she almost died.
Now she's out in the world, she could die in battle every day.
But this happened right here.
It was an unforeseen event. I had no idea her physiology would react like that.
Nathaniel is not happy, Devin.
Oh, gods. Tristan, I did not see you there. How did you do that?
It's my job, Osa.
I know Nathaniel's not happy, Tristan. But He's been unhappy before.
Yes, when they went blind.
That was particularly dramatic. He threw things. I've never seen him do that before or since.
She'll live and continue to improve. The boys are already showing signs of improvement from baseline just 3 days after treatment.
Devik, we need them in North Jakra in a month.
Yes, Tristan, and that's where they'll be.
Diag.
Did Otto just start to say something?
Yes, Osa, she's been doing it all afternoon.
Not finishing her sentences.
Or words most of the time. It's all right, I know what she meant. Diagnostic complete.
Devek, Otto is malfunctioning. It must be a bug in that update I ran this morning. I can fix her. What is it, Tristan?
Yes, I don't see what's funny.
The two greatest minds on the planet, and neither of you can see the humor in this.
If you're not going to be helpful, do not say anything at all.
Fine. Devik, how long will it take for her, meaning Isra, to be fully functional?
A week. At most.
Fine. I shall report back to Nathaniel.
I'm here to see Isra.
Isra Dex? She isn't in the hospital, she's in the lab.
Where's the lab?
You go down there, and there's a link corridor to the complex. But it's off limits, no visitors. Unless your name is also Dex.
No.
Well then, why don't you go back where you came from?
Okay.
Face not recog. No entry perm.
Oh, come on.
Face not recog. No entry perm.
Shiv, what are you doing here?
Oh, hi, Rhea. I came to see Isra. I was fighting her in training and she got sick. I wanted to see if she's okay.
I don't think you should go in there.
You were just in there.
My mechanical eye needed some adjustments, but I'm not allowed to hang around.
Why don't you come with me? We can both see her.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why wouldn't it be? Rhea, I just want to say sorry. It won't take long. She'll kick my ass next time she sees me if I don't make it up.
Shiv! Oh, fuck.
It's really quiet.
It's late and no one's here.
All the tech in the rooms. Those rooms through the windows. What does it do?
I don't know.
There's a technician. Hide.
If we were meant to be here, we wouldn't be hiding.
Shh. Okay, we can go.
Shiv, why do you want to... Oh, God.
What the... Isra! Why is she naked?
She's got all those probes sticking out of her.
There's not even a cover on this window. Anyone walking along this corridor can just... see her like that.
There's a tube sticking out of her ribcage. Ugh.
She started vomiting on the training quad.
She's not even in a bed. It's more like a rack.
It looks like the limbs of it move separately, and she's tied down. She's unconscious, right? Or do you think she's asleep?
She better be unconscious. That thing doesn't look comfortable. And who could be on that rack in a room like this and fall asleep?
It's not right.
She doesn't have any hair anywhere except her head.
Yeah, Rhea. Varian and Ren are the same. We've seen it in the showers.
I'm Fleet, not Army, remember? I'm a pilot. I've not showered with you lot since we were kids.
It's like she's been switched off. Somehow.
She has been.
I know she's scary when she's out there, but this is scary in a different way.
What are you two doing here? Raya? I dismissed you already and... Who's this?
Shivrata. I'm a soldier.
Have you been assigned to me? You're a test subject?
No.
You're not?
She was fighting Isra before. She wanted to say sorry.
This isn't the hospital. We do not allow visitors. Go back to the barracks where you belong, unless you want me to enroll you onto a course of treatments. Raya, come with me. There's another retinal test I could run, and as you're still here, I might as well.
Go now before it's too late.
Shiv? What are you doing here?
I came to see Isra and...
Who let you in?
Rhea was leaving. She was having her eye tested.
You went in without permission? Without being sent for?
I wanted to say sorry.
It's got nothing to do with you. I told you that. Did you see her? Did you see her?
Yes.
You have no right being here. None.
I'm sorry.
What we go through in here is bad enough without you walking in and... You will tell no one what you saw. No one. Do you understand?
It's all right. I won't.
It's not all right. You can't take this back. Not now. If you tell anyone what you saw, including Isra, I'll know. Do you understand?
Yes.
Remember, every time I fight you in training, I'm holding back. But I don't have to. Accidents happen. Now leave and talk to no one.
Ren, you're scaring me.
Good.
In episode 5 of The Dex Legacy, you heard Chris Gregory as Nathaniel Dex, Warren Graham as Tristan Crale, Annika Cordes as Dr. Osis Rivastava, Louis Watson as Dr. Devik Shah, Kamara Elliott as Varian Dex, Kelsey Griffin as Isra Dex, Charlie Richards as Ren Dex, Raki Sharma as Shiv, Stevie Skinner as Raya, Danielle Ellett as Faris, John Baberton as The Nurse, and Emily Inkpen as Auto, with music by Dr. Alan Stroud. If you enjoyed that episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. These things mean the world to us and make the Dex Legacy more visible to potential listeners. If you would like to support the Dex Legacy, you can at ko-fi.com/the Dex Legacy audio drama. That's ko-fi.com. Direct links can be found at www.thedexlegacy.com. At thedexlegacy.com you will also find scripts for every episode and interlude, so if you like to read while you listen, you can. There's also a page dedicated to the cast and a whole load of bonus materials, including maps, a gallery of character portraits, the soundtrack, and more. You can also sign up to the Dex Legacy newsletter for a secret link to me reading The Dark, a short story and prequel to the audio drama. Now we have a trailer for Karen Heimdall's new science fiction audio drama, Chaker.
This is Valen Solarin, engineering lead lunar mining, seeking urgent status update on, Earth.
Chaker, a science fiction audio drama.
Nothing has been heard from the Mars colony since before Earth went silent. Maybe they all died too, and all I will find is their bones. I could be the last human. I cannot stay. Trost?
Chaker.
Could you prepare the shuttle?
Affirmative. Long or short range journey?
Oh. Long. Very long.
Welcome. I am Hugo. How may I have the pleasure of addressing you?
It's Chaker.
Chaker, Russian for seagull. Call sign of Russian cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova, the first Earth woman.
In space, yes, my mother gave me that name.
Probably time you got to know some non-human people.
Oh, you mean like you?
Yes, I am a delightful acquaintance.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
You frightened her.
She'll get over it. She has other things on her mind.
Cheka, releasing 2022. For more information, please visit y2kpod.com/Cheka. That's CHAIKA.
Repeat. Priority communication to Moonbase. Get back to me and tell me this is just a glitch, all right? Please.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders. Greetings, Commanders.
A show that talks about the universe of Elite and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 402 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Psychit, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode are our head of health and safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss-Woodward.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much head was that size?
Interesting. Let's not go back there. We're gonna move on like it never happened. We also have our Inhuman Resources Director, Commander Shan. Holy shit!
Get your tongue back in. Have you stolen Colin's tongue again?
Colin, come back. All's forgiven.
We don't have Colin today. As you can quite clearly hear with me doing the what's-its again. But we are graced by the presence of the fantastic, amazing, wonderful Commander Ascorbius.
Hello. Is they left the door open and I wandered in. Is there a bar?
Only if you brought your own drinks. Yeah.
I got some pencils.
Are they up your nose?
Yes, and my underpants are on my head.
Yes! Yeah, Scorb is here to make us look professional.
Oops, that ship sailed. That ship sailed a very long time ago. Holy crap. If you do wish, you can join us. We are hanging out in game in open. Ben, where are you? Where are you going?
I am going to Hutton Orbital for preparation of Too Hot, Too Messy.
Thrilling content right there from Commander Edelweiss.
If you want to stare at one spot for 90 minutes, you too can join me.
And I think we have the Quest Mark IV in Lave Station hanging out in open. If you can't get in game, you can also join the Twitch channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live and clicking on live chat, and also via twitch.tv/laveradio. We're also on all different other social media platforms streaming as well. I won't list them because I'll forget one and it'll feel really sad that I've missed it out. So you can find us in social media, look for Lave Radio. Folks, what have you been up to this week? Let's start with Shan.
Right, this week I am on holiday or vacation countdown. I have 2 days remaining at work before I go on holiday for 2 weeks. So yes, looking forward to that immensely. Got myself a drone today to take pictures of scenery and stuff. So I'm learning to fly that.
A camera drone thingy.
Yes, a camera drone thingy. The eldest mini Shan got hold of it and decided to be a stooker at the cats, which got him in trouble. What else has been going on? Nothing much really. Just been kind of getting ready to go on holiday, and you see it in the film where you've got the guy going water in the desert. That's kind of how I feel about the holiday at the moment. I just so need it after the few weeks I've had, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Sure, I can completely appreciate that. Very jealous of Colin being away at the moment. Ben, what have you been up to, my lovely?
Past couple of weeks, what I've been doing, I've been nothing very exciting. My poor coffee machine broke down, but it's been replaced. I may get my graphics card back at some point in the next couple of weeks. Apparently, Gigabyte are sending it back, so maybe I might actually get my graphics card back. That'll be nice. Apart from that, I've mostly been playing the Siege of Orison in Star Citizen with their new patch, and pretending to be a cat. Oh, and I've been playing Mass Effect. Mass Effect Legendary Edition as well, which I've been thoroughly loving.
You've been playing Stray then, have you?
I've been playing Stray, Mass Effect, and
have you finished it?
I've not finished Stray. No, I'm I've found a postcard, and I've talked to a guy in a room, and then I think I went off and fell asleep in his sofa.
Finished Stray today. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I finished Stray today.
Are you traumatized?
It's so good. It's so good.
I cannot believe how accurately they have modeled a cat's behavior and how well they can recreate you pressing WSAD space and meow into cat-like behaviors.
And like also the puzzle, the puzzle element of it, and the fact that it's a game. You're not just dicking about being a cat, which would have been totally fine as well. But it has a linear story, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, the parts I've been enjoying have been like, finding all the rugs and then scratching them. I just wish I also had. I want to go and also scratch the sofas though, and I can't do that.
Give it time; you might be able to later.
Okay, I can't do that.
Make
yet.
a mod.
There's a shame there's no.
There are situations wherein you can do that, but I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
There's a shame there's no people in it, so you can't like leap up at them with claws extended and use them as a climbing pole.
I'm also not putting any and not doing any spoilers at all. It's so good. It's a beautiful game. I love it.
I love it. I love how the interactions are just fabulous from what I've been playing with it.
Would you say it's too short, Si?
Yeah, what's the playtime on it?
I mean, I want to go back and play it again because I didn't get all of the memories. So there's definitely more playtime to it than maybe I did in my first playthrough. I would say it's about probably about 5 hours. And I personally, I think that's absolutely fine because of I think that's absolutely fine because some games they live by being those short. You can pick up and play that game and complete it and feel satisfied. But I'd love a sequel.
No spoilers, but I was sold on the game purely by the first couple of minutes when you're hanging out with your mates.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so good.
It's just like, this is being a cat.
It's so good. Anyway, moving back to
spaceships
and stuff.
Well, actually, I was going to say, when you finish the game, does your cat like evolve into a Flurkin from Captain Marvel?
I mean that's the next step, isn't it? That's the next evolution. Ascorb, what have you been up to, mate? What have you been doing since LaveCon? Let's say, how are you doing?
I've mostly been crying since LaveCon. Oh no, it's that. I love LaveCon.
How's the hangover?
Oh, it's gone now. Yeah.
Congratulations!
Finally, I think it was yesterday afternoon that it finally finished. It was. I might have got a little bit squiffy at LaveCon, maybe just a tad.
Can't relate.
Can't relate. Well, the way I figured it, right, it's the first con that we've had since COVID came out, and same as most of the wipes and things that to kill COVID on your skin, and everything are alcohol based. I thought if I can sweat neat gin, then I'll be fine. Everything I'll actually be doing the world a favour.
No, I definitely gave that a go as well.
That is good logic. I approve of that.
So that was your alternative lockdown. If everyone had just been given neat vodka or something, they would have been.
We'd be all right.
And also exposed to really hot temperatures.
Yeah.
I did like, there was a meme that went around as COVID actually started hitting things. It's like, it said, alcohol kills COVID virus. And there was a banner which it said, Scotland, you have no power here.
I remember that.
It's like, yeah. Apart from recovering from that, I've been playing, I played some Elite on Sunday. I managed to actually complete some missions.
Yay!
I was like, I was as surprised as you were. What else have I been doing? I've not been playing Star Citizen yet. There's a new update, and I was really like, I can't play it and I can't stream it because my PC just isn't powerful enough, and I'm also processing all of the stuff in OBS and everything. So I'm building a streaming PC, which the bits arrive for today. So I've got a capture card and everything, but it's not an Elgato one. It's a different one. So I guess anyone who's got an Elgato streaming capture card can let me know how theirs goes. Well, I'll let you know how mine goes if you like. And I also cleaned my conservatory with my pressure washer. Yeah.
Wow!
How Middle English of you.
Although I had to do it in such a way because I couldn't get to the top of it because it's a blooming conservatory and like they're up against the wall. So I had to get a rope, tie the hose pipe to it, go upstairs, throw the rope down, go upstairs. Throw the rope down, tie it to something inside the bedroom, tie it to the hose pipe, pull it up over the conservatory, lean out of the window, not fall to my death, and clean the top bit. It was a thing.
That sounds like something Mr. Bean would do.
What are you saying?
Okay, right. Ephesus is telling us not to mention the grenade.
Oh, that blooming grenade. I'm never going to live that down.
What happened? We need to know now.
I was minding my own business. We all were shooting some Infinity, trying to destroy Infinity that was in a box because we thought Infinity shouldn't be there. So we were shooting Infinity, and then I might have put a hand grenade in the box next to the Infinity, and I stepped back in time. But sadly, one of our number, actually two of them, it was Connor and Maldivor got splodified with the grenade. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
I must admit, to be slightly disappointed. It didn't turn out to be a real grenade.
Yeah, this is only Shan.
In game.
If I ever go on stream and I have a real grenade in my hands, somebody call someone. Like,
yeah. I'm kind of thinking, terms of service, maybe.
Why would I have one?
I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch has, some rednecks shooting submachine guns and things like that from the back.
Well, actually, you say that. One of the Darwin Awards in the early 2000s was won by the male occupants of a Cambodian village who found a landmine from the Vietnam War, and they took it to the local pub. And after a few drinks, they decided to have a game of who can jump on a landmine, and the one who sets it off is the loser. So they therefore took it in turns, jumped on a landmine until one jumped a bit too hard and took out the entire pub.
Bloody hell.
Wow. Wowza. Crikey.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have I been up to this week?
We've been hearing you've been being called names again.
Have I?
Oh yes.
Oh, probably.
They don't like you.
Probably. Why not? Like I've been watching Formula One and reading posts on forums and having not forums on Discord. Who goes to the forums? It's a silly place. And just having like a bit of fun. I started the new No Man's Sky expedition, but for some reason, when I have No Man's Sky open and OBS just even open, I lose frames on No Man's Sky like that. It's going out of fashion. Like, frames are so last year. But when I close OBS, it works perfectly. So that's a job for me tomorrow, is figuring out why it's so balked. But
the Federation have been at least alluding to you as one of those
to that.
who okay,
we can get to that.
You're being a bit treasonous, I think.
We can get to that. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
like fine.
You.
I'm a rabble leader. What can I say? It's a really strange thing with No Man's Sky. So I'm just gonna ignore that and leave that for now. And that's for tomorrow's Psychic to deal with. And then I've also finished Stray, and it's wonderful and excellent and beautiful, and I highly recommend it. Definitely a contender for Game of the Year. If you've not played it already, just play it. It's so good. It's so good.
Talking about rebels and things like that, have you seen the trailer for Andor?
No, I haven't. I haven't
That
even looked
looks
at that
good.
yet.
Yeah, that. I mean, I loved Rogue One, and Andor looks really, really good as well.
What's the setting for Andor?
It's basically a prequel to Rogue One.
Okay.
So with the guy who's Cassian Andor.
Okay, I've been reliably informed that I have watched Rogue One, and I cannot remember it for the life of me.
Basically,
Rogue One is a prequel to Star Wars.
Yeah, basically Star
Yeah,
Wars.
I know what Rogue One is. I've been reliably informed that I have sat down and watched the whole of it, and you think I'd remember something with Alan Tudyk in, and I don't remember.
I so desperately hope, though I don't think he is, that they have Alan Tudyk's character in Andor.
I loved that character.
Yeah, I agree with Katie Arna. Rogue One is one of the best Star Wars movies.
It is the best,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Star Wars kind of got to the point at the moment where if you have a 10-second role in Star Wars, you get given a limited series on Disney Plus. It's just got too much. It's got too much, I think.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. They're going to keep flogging those horses until they're dead.
I'm kind of torn between all things because, like, I loved Rogue One. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant movie. It's certainly better than some other Star Wars movies.
Yes,
but like, we know what happens to those characters. It's like Black Widow all over again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could say it could be like Better Call Saul, though, where although you know what happens to the characters, it's
I've not
still
seen all of Breaking Bad.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just saying that Better Call Saul has done the prequel thing really, really well. So
Right.
although you know what happens, it still maintains that tension and oh my goodness. So yeah, really recommend Better Call Saul.
I've heard very good things about it.
I really liked The Mandalorian, and the second season of The Mandalorian was great. And then Boba Fett started out okay.
And then it became the next series of The Mandalorian, and all was well with the world.
And it kind of went.
I will quite happily see Pedro Pascal in anything. He's magnificent, and I love him. So I will not have any bad words said against that human being, and I love him to a lot.
He was in Wonder Woman 1984.
I've not seen that yet.
Prepare to
You're
have your
lucky.
mind changed.
You're lucky. Yeah,
Daddy Mando. I can't wait for my Daddy Mando. Right, let's get back to Elite Dangerous. We've had our Star Wars talk. I'm putting my foot down. Let's move it back to Elite.
Alpha Princess Psychic, you're our only hope.
No, back up. Back up.
That Star Wars talk wasn't on. That Star Wars talk wasn't on honor of Colin. He couldn't be with us today because he's on holiday.
Such a weird way to put it. That was in honor of Colin, who sadly couldn't be with us today because he's on holiday.
You're not allowed to go on holiday.
So what have the devs said this week? We had Frameshift Live 13.
They said some things.
They said some things. They talked about Daddy Savlon, actually referring to him as Daddy Savlon, which was my favorite part.
Yes.
I didn't actually watch. I didn't watch the whole thing. I've only watched clips and stuff. Has anybody else?
I think my most memorable bit was Arf discussing what things we could do with Thargoids, and one was obviously feeding them, one was fighting one, and one was another one.
What was the other one, Ben?
It was something else that Arf refused to mention, so we will leave it up to everybody's speculation.
Can we kill it? Can we eat it? Can we love it?
Yeah, can we fight it? Can we fight it? Can we feed it? Can we other things?
Can we buy it a drink first? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And what was the answer to that?
Well, he was just wondering and asking questions and things like that. There were no answers.
Well, if there is the internet in Elite, there are people who will probably got a porn site to do with them and doing stuff with Thargoids.
Are we rule 34ing Thargoids right now?
I suspect you probably could rule 34 Thargoids, yes.
Well, they are very tentacly.
Oh God.
Are they?
Well,
they are in Scorn's mind.
They are now.
More crunchy. They're more crunchy than hentai, aren't they?
I don't feel equipped for this.
I mean, I'm feeling more mandible than tentacle.
I'm sure there's some. Look, I'm not going to king shame.
Exactly.
That's silent psychic.
I think we've killed her.
The thing that made me laugh is that the GIF that the Chris Mark 4 has put in the chat, which is a GIF of the deep. And if you've seen the boys,
oh god, no!
Oh, let's see. Where?
It's not that one. But if you've seen the boys, you know the relation that my head made. That's what made me laugh.
I will share that for the chat.
And anyone who's into like VFX and stuff, Corridor Digital have got a VFX Artist React episode out at the moment where they break down how they did that scene.
They do. It's very good. It's very good.
Commander Tragic Blue has just said Goid Hub exists.
They do. It does. It genuinely does.
Only Goids.com.
Does any Jesus. Oh, this is going to be a corker of an episode. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Colin is there to witness this.
Too much malarkey. Let's reel it back.
Does anybody have any other takeaways from Frameshift Live, with the exception of the fact that they announced on Frameshift Live that update? Jesus Christ! A little bit of calamari. That update 13 is coming out next week.
Ooh. Sorry. Right, and brief. Sorry, I heard something about Outpost 13 next week.
Update 13 is coming out next week. Close.
Yes, hopefully.
That was their big reveal. It came about like 3/4 of the way through the talky talk bit, and then Arf tried to kill some Thargoids. Is my understanding of how the rest of it went.
Yes. And that's where the whole comment about things. But I mean, I think we already knew that update 13 is due for the beginning of August, so I didn't really consider that massive news. But yeah,
it was good to get it confirmed, because in previous updates they've had to suddenly postpone it at a moment's notice. So it's
I suppose that's true.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll come out on time, but until we get it, I'm not touching anything until we get it. And I don't think that's uncalled for.
Fair. Okay. So we also had Discovery Scanner yesterday.
That kind of said the same things that they said in Frameshift Live 13.
Yeah.
On paper format.
Yeah, and talking about known issues containing general stability in-game around POI ground settlements and crashes, preventing commanders from currently enjoying CG, are making good progress with the team for resolve as part of Update 13, which is quite nice.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, is as part of a highly detailed roadmap they issued a while ago, this Update 13 did have an emphasis on narrative, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a narrative and story.
So yes, but more of that later.
Absolutely. And then what else has happened? Tickets for the Frontier Mixer at Gamescom were available for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then they sold out.
Came and went, didn't they? Yeah, they didn't last long.
How many tickets were there? Do we know?
Just 100. So it doesn't surprise me that they've gone so quickly.
No.
Especially given given the nature of the event and the fact that it was in Germany. I saw a lot of people
on Gamescom. You know, there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot of industry people there as well. So. Yeah. Interesting that it sold out within 10 minutes.
Do we know during Gamescom if they're going to be announcing anything new with Elite? Because in previous Gamescoms, when they've really made the effort, they did actually release
I think this year's Gamescom is going to be much more their Formula One game based rather than Elite.
Yeah, because that's out soon, isn't it?
It is.
That's out end of August. So just in time. So the pre-release early access comes out, I think, on the 25th, and then the game for those who haven't pre-ordered is the beginning of September. The beginning of September. How do months work? How does time pass? But yeah, that's what we've had in the dev news this week, other than confirmation of a release or an update week. Pretty light on news again.
Yep, not a lot.
Do you think they're saving it all up for next week?
No, I just don't think. Well, do you mean I think they're saving everything up for update 13? I don't think they're saving it up for Gamescom announcements or anything like that.
I must admit, I'd have liked to see maybe another dev interview between Lave and the release. I know there were a lot of devs at thingy, but at LaveCon, but I would have enjoyed seeing maybe another dev one-to-one. But maybe because everybody's working so hard on getting update 13 ready, maybe there just wasn't the availability to do so.
I suspect they're also limited by the number of people they can take, and I think Ben's correct in what he says. The focus will be on the Formula One game. The limited spots they've got will be for Formula One devs, not Elite devs.
I'm talking about the show, the Frameshift Live, rather than Gamescom.
Other things.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen that, but never mind. Anyone else got anything else to add on the development news? Cool. No. Cool. Then we will move over to the in-game events and what's happened this week. Well, Tessero highlighted Azimuth's Inhumanity on the 27th of July because Tessero's got our back. Then it was pretty light on news, actually. On the 28th of July, we got confirmation that the Thargoid salvage operation still needed more resources. Is that right? Yeah, they still wanted more stuff.
More things. Give us all the things.
And then we also, on the 29th of July, had confirmation that the work on the Proteus wave had concluded, and then they were calibrating. And we need you to kill more Thargoids. And then the superpowers only today started going, oh, you're all bad. Anyone who opposes salvation and Azimuth is a bad guy. To which I say, cool, good to know.
Let's be bad guys.
Let's be bad guys, exactly. Shan?
Yeah, I was just thinking, if at the moment there's a underlying narrative of give us more stuff so that the super weapon can be better. Do you think that's because the player response has been not what Frontier expected, and their internal limits, what they say they need to do this much for this event to happen? Do you think that's because it's been lower than they thought and they keep trying to encourage people, or do you think they've been saying that to try and string it out until the update 13?
I'd say they're not stringing it out. I just think they've update 13 is when they plan to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep on doing pew pew and give us more things until we're ready for update 13. Repeat ad infinitum. Okay, we're ready to drop in update 13 next week. Let's now test in inverted commas.
Yeah, I kind of hope. You're probably right, Ben. But I was kind of hoping that they expected players to deliver so many tons, and they haven't hit that amount, so they're struggling for bits. But we shall see. The other thing that makes me think, and probably moving on to later, that the event the Proteus wave won't be that successful, is because, and here's I'm shamelessly robbing from Al Murray, they're going to use Marines to fight in this. Now, Marines are, as Elmo says, water soldiers. So they're going to be using water soldiers to fight in space. So, yeah, they need space soldiers, not water soldiers, to do that.
So in answer to the first thing, like your first question of whether I think that it's had sort of like any sort of impact on the story, I think it's only in that it's changed the narrative, a small amount of the narrative. I fully expected that when Frontier made that narrative decision to switch Taurus Mining Ventures to Azimuth Biotech, they knew that some players would react in a way where it's like, okay, now we have a target, let's go attack Azimuth Biotech. What I don't believe that they fully expected was just quite how organized we would be about it.
I think you're definitely on some of their side, because I think what stuff like the witch hunt and whatever's done is just added another dimension and depth to the narrative, not necessarily change the outcome directly. But I hope it does. I hope it does change the outcome. But you know,
I feel like if it goes wrong, if it's such a silly word, when it goes wrong, that now they have someone to blame for it going wrong rather than it just solely being down to Salvation's incompetence. So maybe that wouldn't work in the favor of the group. It has been, as Commander Tragic Blue says, it has been really nice that players are getting a mention for an in-game reason, and it's wonderful to see just like little switches to what the narrative may very well have been plotted out as, but little switches to it to lean on a player-led initiative, I think is very beautiful, and long may it continue.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna like actually see this Proteus wave thing happen, or is it going to be like when you're a kid and your parents said Santa Claus has come, and the next day your presents are all there?
Well, that's what happens, isn't it?
I think we're going to get a cinematic.
Main topic alert.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, I would answer in saying that I think we're going to get a cinematic outside of game about it, because I don't like the idea of there being a one-time event that everybody has to log into a server to see. I've seen people get burnt in Fortnite and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you think back to when the Guardian stuff was first, and even when the Firewatch first came, there was the Commander Chronicles, wasn't there, which is a series of almost like cutscenes rendered in game.
They made me feel a bit inadequate, to tell you that much. They were pretty good going.
Yeah, so I suspect if there is going to be something the players see, it will be something like a Commander Chronicle, because it's the only way they can ensure every player can see it, and also the only way it can be done in game without having to code a whole host of new assets and a lot of work. So doing the cutscene thing you can see on YouTube, probably what will happen.
That would be cool, because then you could refer to that, and if that was a YouTube video, that would generate so much content for a start, and interest in the game, probably make it into magazines. Look at this great thing that's happened in universe in Elite Dangerous. How cool would that be?
I'd love to
see
thing.
Yeah, because Commander Chronicles, there was a few, wasn't there? There was there was the one who the commander, military commander, he said fire at the Thargoid and only fired 2 missiles at it instead of opening up with everything he got. And there was the one with Ramtar, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I think there was another one as well, but I can't remember what that was. There hasn't been very many of them, but this would
They
be
need
nice
to do more. If anyone from Frontier is watching, we loved that stuff. Make more. We did love it. It was brilliant. It fleshes out the universe.
I'd like to see No, I'm gonna hold that until our main topic discussion. I think then it is that time of the week again.
Score alert!
In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art.
Very much enjoyed Scorp's reaction to the dubstep then. That was amazing.
I'm not going to be able to listen to the original anymore.
You can't happen. There's also an opera one, which is fantastic as well. We have there was nothing new in the store this week. That said, the sale finished, but also, Scorb, what did you think of the ship kits?
Living brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I have gotten all of them except for the Anaconda. I've got, so like the fact that there's one for the Cobra, there's one for the Type 6. I'm currently flying my Type 6 to Hutton Orbital, so you'll be able to see it if people haven't got the Type 6 one. It's really cool. I'm blown away. Like you say, we don't get nothing for ages, and then a whole bunch of them turn up at once.
Do you think they should have? I don't think they put a keelback one in, did they?
No, because the things flap around too much. The bits will fall off.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thought.
Scorb, are you currently playing L Scorbius?
Yes.
Okay, you're in private group. That's why I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm in a PG at the minute.
Okay,
But when I get to Hutton, I'll jump into open.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would have liked to have keelback one because I think just the flappy things and.
Yeah, it would be great. I think they should do more. I think the response to these has been really positive.
I am holding out for my Orca one.
No.
Yes.
You what?
No.
My Orca is.
And you are not brutalizing Kukumaya shit. You're not brutalizing Kukumaya shit for that.
No, my Orca.
This is why we can't have nice things.
But my Orca is my bulk passenger rescue ship. I've got it kitted out in bright yellow, and it is for diving in to damaged stations, numbing up as many people needing rescue as possible, and then flying out again. Having a cage around it would be blooming marvelous for it.
Yeah, it would be like a Type 9.
But it's a thing of beauty, though.
Actually,
yeah, but you want to put in a cage.
Exactly.
You monster.
From a roleplay perspective, I can see how it would appeal from a roleplay perspective, because what you would have is you'd have your Orca, and you'd only have enough room for 5 people in it to rescue. But they'd have these amazing, windows. They could like look at the people banging against the hull, asking to be let in before they took off.
You can mix and match these things, right? So hear me out for a moment. Let's, instead of saying, can I have this for my other ship, which will make it look like a pile of trash? Let's not worry about that. How about we have more ship kits, different ones? Like I've suggested on Twitter. How about one with like hastily made repairs in space for explorers? So like,
I'd love that.
Bolted on stuff, riveted panels, bad welding and all that stuff. It's like you've been out there for a while. You've had to fix your ship. You've done some things. That ship is storied. There's things that have happened.
Genius idea. You have space duct tape on the ship.
Space duct tape. Yeah. Oh, yes, space duct tape. And then another one. Say, based on what you were just saying, and this could apply to a whole different range of ships. It'd be a ship kit, but it'd be ablative panels. So as you are going into these things, you could put these ablative panels on, and maybe they take damage. Oh,
So
it don't
you could
cost
pretend
anything to put up.
You could pretend to be the Defiant then from Deep Space Nine, but it's ablative armor.
Yes. Or you know, you just weld a bunch of plates on it, and it's cool.
Ablative armor too.
You did.
Yeah,
Ben,
but that was
what-
the crap board one. wasn't
Ben, what do you have to say about cruise ships, mate?
Right. Shan will be able to back me up on this because he knows all this kind of shit as well. But we both know, and I'm sure other people listening know as well, that many cruise ships were used in many wars, including the Falklands, to transport troops and rescue people from where they were to where they needed to get to safety.
Mhm.
Therefore,
But-
it is a very, very likely thing to have a cruise ship, essentially the Orca, doing rescue missions.
But are you
That's
going to
my
weld a
story, and
bunch
I'm
of?
just- I
Are you going to
would,
weld a
yes.
bunch of halogen lights on the side of it? Is that what you?
Damn,
No, no.
damn right I
And
would.
some scaffolding poles.
Yes.
No, the cat.
If I was going to, if I was heading off to the Falklands in my, my cruise ship back in the 80s, you're too right. I'd have got off and painted it sort of sea grey and put on some armor and things like that.
Well, the Canberra was.
I've been on the Canberra. That's another something
And also, my history is correct. QE2 was as well.
Yep. But I was actually on the Canberra in the 90s after she got refurbed from going on the from doing the Falkland stuff.
I still like my idea of being able to look out the window at all the people you're leaving behind and wave at them.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's always brutal. It's always brutal from Sham.
War is hell. Or war never changes. That kind of thing.
I'm
Whatever.
just merely practicing Darwinism in its purest form.
And on that note, I think what we'll do is we'll take a quick break and we will come back with our main discussion in a few minutes.
You want a working classic? Built stronger to last longer? A ship that'll go on and on, with no dangling wires? Jump across the black, haul to every station, and when the Goids come close, we got some firepower too. Like on Spaceways, engineered and mechanically designed to stay on the job. Put a Lake on your payroll.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
This is a public service announcement from the Fuel Rats. Please stop what you're doing and pay attention. If we can rescue you, we will, but you can help us help you by following these easy steps. 1. Fly 50 light seconds or so from the system's main star and drop out of Supercruise. 2. Note down the current system and the nearest stellar body. 3. If you're on emergency life support, log out immediately. 4. Go to fuelrats.org and click Get Help. 5. Stay calm, hold your breath, and let our seasoned professionals do what they do best. The Fuel Rats. We have fuel, you don't. Any questions?
Is your life like this? It could be like this.
Astrogators, put some excitement back in your life. Book an adventure in the Lave Business Directory. Now.
And welcome back. So we had to sit down and think about a main topic for today, and because we don't know exactly when update 13 is going to come out next week, it would be remiss of us to wait until Tuesday when it could have already been out to talk about what we would like to see and what we wouldn't like to see, etc. In the update. So folks, what are you hoping for from update 13?
I want HIP 224610B to be exploited. I want it to be a Hasmoon.
Dan?
Yes?
Okay, what would I expect and hope from it? What I would hope is it's actually put in with a minimum amount of bugs in it, because this is the climax of quite a long narrative, and it would be a shame if it was ruined by bugs and crashes that meant people were left frustrated trying to do it. So I hope it's relatively bug-free. What I expect is I actually expect, yes, the narrative will be pulled to a conclusion, but I think I'm expecting something like the Commander Chronicles followed up by Galnet written articles. I don't think there will be anything in game that we can go along and see and interact with, which I wish there was, but I just don't see that happening. I think it will be a cutscene and then some narrative from Galnet.
Okay. Scorb?
Ooh, so many things. I would like to see. I don't know whether we're going to get it though, but I would like to see the ability to revive a teammate who may or may not have been on the receiving end of an errant grenade. That would be quite nice. But if we don't get that, then they know enough about the bugs that have been plaguing us for a while now to do something about them. And I think I've heard some positive things on, just around on the Twitter sphere that they know about them. There was another thing. I can't remember now. I'll have a think. Another thing, but like basically, more better. That's what I'd like to see update 13.
More better things, please.
More better. Oh, and ship interiors. All the ship interiors. Yes, those two. Yeah.
Oh, just since you said that, I was watching the last Commander Chronicles video during the break when they introduced the Crate Mark II.
Yes.
And the three people walk into the Crate Mark II.
Yes, it's lovely.
And look around. So, but anyway, it's an interesting one. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. So if it exceeds them, I'm happy for a change, rather than thinking, oh, they could have done this, or they should have done that. So I'm deliberately keeping it low key, I think, just in case.
Ben, you want to see the system explode. Expand on that for me.
Yeah, I am very much of the opinion that the Proteus wave is not going to work. Something is going to go very wrong. And what I would love would be for, everybody in HIP 22460 to find themselves floating in a rescue pod needing rescued or something like that. And then we have to go off and rescue all of our fellow commanders, and until you get picked up, you're kind of up the scutter. And obviously that has to be done in open, because if you're in solo group, you can't get picked up because you're in solo.
That would be so fun in like Orca to wave at commanders as I fly past.
As you fly past. Sorry, mate. I've only got enough room for one more. Yeah, I would love I'd love for at least 10B to. Yeah, if I would like it to actually turn into a ring of Planet 10.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how you could do that, but because obviously a moon explodes, it ain't gonna form. It's gonna form into basically it's gonna form into a ring in that orbit, and other things are gonna go in, other things are gonna go out.
I mean, that takes a very long time.
It does, but we can pretend it happened, and I don't.
We can pretend that time passed.
Yeah.
See, I like where you're going, Ben, with the apocalypse for HIP.
Yeah.
10 million years later.
Yeah.
I
would love. Yeah, I mean, you've seen pictures of moon, like pictures in sci-fi of moon split in half or something like that. I would love them to do something like that, but I don't think Frontier have the tech to do that. So, doing something to indicate this was 10B, it's fucked.
You know what they could do?
Yeah.
They could completely obliterate 10B and then have something go wrong or Salvation betray humanity and have the wave work against humans, not against Thargoids. So therefore they wipe out every space station and outpost and settlement.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Daddy Savlon would that plan.
In say a 200 light year radius. So just up until the edge of the bubble, just completely obliterate all the systems and stuff like that in that 200 light year radius.
Is there any Guardian tech gone into this Proteus wave?
Yes,
machine?
like a shit ton.
Right.
I think the technical term would be a metric fuck ton of stuff that's gone in there, and we all know what happened.
What about this for a turn up for the books?
I like turnips.
Two possible outcomes lie in our future. Well, three if you count the things that are really going to happen. But how about these two? One, the Proteus wave goes off and awakens the Guardian AI. And now we have a third enemy.
I would like that.
So the Guardian AI, for those who don't know, actually are the ones that wiped out the Guardians 2 million years ago. And they went somewhere. Ooh, we don't know where they went. And there's a whole load of space inside of Barnard's Loop, which is all locked off. And it looks like the Thargoids and the Guardians were around there. Second possibility, it decloaks the Raxler Gate.
I don't think why it would do that, but okay.
Oh, so it's Guardian tech
why not?
interrupted the. You know what? It'd be a great way to go. Yeah, you did find it, but you just couldn't see it because it was cloaked.
And now it's in Sol.
No.
Or, because we don't know what the. I mean, I'm not going to railroad the thing into this, but we don't know what the Raxler Gate was. What if it was actually like in Halo? It's a weapon.
I hope we never find it. I hope it's not in game. I hope they never put anything to the Raxler in game. And if it is in game, I hope it's never found.
Raxler is the friends you make along the way.
That's too clear. But basically, there's nothing Frontier could do in game that would make Raxler meet the player expectations and how it got hyped up.
I'm sure there are.
Over 30 years. But it'll always be different to what people expect it. And you know what happens when players don't get what they expect. It never ends well.
How about an explorer on the other side of the Milky Way finds this abandoned gate, which after the Proteus wave kicks off, lights up?
So you don't have to put symbols in a certain order to then get
maybe
it spins round.
That would be No Man's Sky.
It would. Well, I'm just thinking about what you're saying though about.
What if it was a weapon?
The Guardian. It would be great, but I'm just not sure Frontier have got that amount of development effort and time and money.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like it goes off. Any players that were in the area find themselves back in the bubble, and an entire cluster of stars is gone.
Yeah,
and then one wakes up near to Sol, and we find it. We don't know what caused that thing to go off. Don't fire the Proteus wave off again because it might kick this one off as well. And now we're on a I don't know, an epic arc of trying to shut it down.
Yeah, Ephesus is saying the Raxler is a confetti gun.
Sounds right. That sounds about right. From everything we've heard so far, let's piece that together really, really carefully. Now, remember to bring your tinfoil, but it certainly feels like that would make more sense.
It's a confetti gun.
Yeah. You just gotta join the lines together.
Doesn't everything start out as a confetti gun, though?
Absolutely.
Being serious, what I know we're going slightly off topic and talking about Raxler here, but yeah, I'm with Mac that I would love it if Raxler basically opened up to 100% proc gen galaxy with no map, and we have to map it ourselves.
But we never would.
Well, we haven't done this one either, but that would be a great thing for Raxler to be, completely and utterly pointless, taking you to a mappable proc gen galaxy with nothing but proc gen stuff in there. No bubble, no ships, no commerce, etc. Nothing like Mass Effect Andromeda or anything like that.
In the later stages of beta, just before the gamma hit, early stages of beta, there was an alternate galaxy to fly around in, because they hadn't yet run and refined the Stellar Forge. Because I remember certain systems were like X with stations in them, and then when it came to gamma, which is the galaxy we have now, it was all completely different. So there was like a parallel universe.
Yeah,
we were playing it in beta. But I think we'll just get a story. I can't.
Yeah, we're not going to get anything to do with Raxler in this.
Yeah,
I would love it. I would love to be Guardian AI or the second make of Thargoids or anything like that. I would love it to be that, but I'm just not sure there's that much development time and effort they've got on hand to do it justice, and it would be a shame not to do it justice.
So, for me, my pipe dream is literally loading up the game and getting a cutscene before we even go into the game. So, I mean, great expectations, am I right? But when you first sort of like click play on that day, we then get the cutscene showing this. It all go wrong. I would like to see the planet not necessarily explode, but I'd like to see it split in some way. If they have the tech, if Frontier have the tech to be able to break part of the planet away or make it look maybe like something has ripped itself out of the ground. Let's say hypothetically, something has ripped itself out of the ground. Or split, and then we have two halves of a planet. So that's all broken that we could still potentially go and visit and land on. I'd be quite excited by that. I doubt that will happen. But it would be nice to go and visit and have this new thing to take screenshots of. Shan?
As we've been thinking, I was just wondering, we said they had a Commander Chronicles and stuff like that, and you wanted an in-game cutscene. What if this firing of the Proteus wave, Commander Chronicles, happened using the game engine when you jumped into HIP again? So you have, when you get hyperdicted, it's not really a cutscene. The graphics are all generated engine, aren't they? The Thargoid ship coming, scanning you, and then going away. If you have something similar to that happened to you when you jumped into HIP or launched from a ship in HIP, I think that would be about as spectacular as we could get. You actually see it rendered in-game, in the engine, when you enter the system.
When the Thargoids first came into the game, people found out about that by being hyperdicted, did they not?
Yes.
I would like that, please. I don't want a big song and dance. I want to have I want to go like have this cutscene where something goes wrong with the Proteus wave and then it goes black and we don't know fully what happened. We can go and investigate and maybe we can hear logs of Caleb Wycherley being out in his spot miles away, light years upon light years away, remote, talking people through it, and then hearing those people die, hearing them discuss something insane, and then that's it. And we don't have anything else. And then when we're all going around Thargoid space, we get hyperdicted by something massive.
Yeah, I'd like Caleb to, as part of the cutscene, you'd be walking up and having this like plunger and just pushing it down like it was dynamite.
But from a very remote location, somewhere.
Or some sort of roadrunner looking device from Acme on the side.
Space Acme, Spac me.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not sure that's appropriate.
Probably not.
Ben,
I'm just wondering. You know how we've got the tech in game to explode an asteroid? I'm just wondering, could that tech be scaled up to explode a planet? I don't think it could, but that would be amazing.
No, because they'd have
They're
to.
They're all the same asteroid, aren't they? That get exploded.
Yeah, they're all the same. It's all the same asset.
Yeah.
So they'd have to make it'd be a sphere. It would be quite high polygon.
Spheres.
Yeah, but like think about how many polygons that model would have to be.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
For it to survive, because if it was only from a distance and then you can never go near it, you can get away with a lot more. But if you could actually, oh goodness, can you imagine trying to land on it?
Well, I don't see how.
Driving up to the edge.
The gravity of such a thing would just be completely messed. So you could have an excuse. No, you ain't gonna land there, mate. But the other thing that I would actually like, if we go to, like some of the ships that we've got currently around 10B, like when the Falcon shows up at Alderaan and is just like flying through all those asteroids. Just like you drop in at, say, the Bright, whatever his name is, or how you just drop in anywhere around 10B and you're flying through a debris field. And I think they could do that, couldn't they?
I feel like if they do, whatever they do would have to be. I say have to be. I would very much like it to be a new asset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know necessarily as the big. This is what everything's been pointing towards. I can't think resolving this narrative arc would result in anything but a new asset. Whether that is Guardian technology mixed in with Thargoid technology on a specific site, that which we can go and see and we can go and read the logs of. That's fine. I'd be happy to see a new asset, something new that I can take a screenshot of. Is wonderful. Or whether that is a split apart planet that we can go and fly around, or whether that is being hyperdicted by a
mothership.
Big ass motherfucker, Thargoid, that is bigger than you've ever seen, and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Something that actually makes you crap yourself by being in game. I feel like with the amount of excitement that is evident from Frontier about what is coming narrative wise, I feel like there has to be another asset.
How cool would it be that you go into a system and you see this signal source and it's like and it's just massive alien presence, whatever they'd want to call it, and you go there and it's something the size of a station, if not bigger, and it's swarmed with like hydras and there's all kinds of Thargoid vessels flying around the thing. How cool would that be as a site to try and kick some Thargoid ass, but you know they're just going to keep on coming. Because they're coming out of the literal mothership.
Yeah, so something like the mothership from
Independence Day?
Yeah, that's the one. I was going to say that film with Will Smith, but yeah, that one.
You'd need to be able to interact with them somehow. If it was a new asset, you would need to be able to interact with it to make it
Imagine if you
worthwhile.
could land on it and then go to the bar and get a Thargoid drink.
I like the idea about being able to fly if you're stealthy enough, or that maybe there's going to be new technology or something on those lines. But if you're stealthy enough and you've got a small enough ship, being able to get yourself into into special areas that are within there, something a bit like the end of Independence Day. Spoiler alert, but it's been out for a really long time, so I don't feel super guilty about it.
Thing is, though, Ben, you just got excited about being able to take a Thargoid out for a drink, aren't you?
Damn right.
Not what only Thargoid fans or something like that. What you talked about earlier.
Yep. Hey, I will happily buy a Thargoid a drink.
So you manage to get your ship into the Thargoid mothership. Get out, you disembark, and it's like all eerie, smoky mist, and then you're presented with like wave upon wave of on-foot Thargoids trying to wipe out this alien presence that's just arrived on their mothership.
No, I think what'll happen, you'll just pull out your USB stick and stick it in the USB drive the Thargoids have got, rather
and then you just start
handily.
smoking the cigar.
Yeah.
You got to make sure if you're putting in your USB stick that you've tried it all three ways.
Well, if he's going to do it that way, then it would be a piece of Guardian technology, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They don't like Guardian technology. You could go full Independence Day with it if you want to go full cheese.
We
That's
do have
effectively
our
what the mycoid virus was, though, wasn't it? Going full Independence Day with it.
We do have our scannery things, so maybe our scanners can upload a signal over Wi-Fi.
I like the idea of putting a USB drive in it because in all the films, there's always a USB stick that works first time, isn't there? But then it goes really slow towards the end.
Tom actually has the ideal solution. Just shove on a Thargoid mask and no one will tell the difference.
But what about the extra legs that you need to suddenly find?
And the tentacles. Don't forget the tentacles, Ben.
Well,
You've got to remember the tentacles.
Yeah, Shan, you can be on my ship as well, and then we can find some extra legs.
And that weird beat thing right in the middle of the
pantomime horse.
I'm not playing your tentacles, Ben, for no money.
Are you making a pantomime Thargoid? Amazing. So one thing, and I'd love to hear this from you guys and what you think. One thing that as we were chatting away at LaveCon to Tom and Darren on the Saturday night, they were asking what we were expecting from Update 13, and or in the future of Elite, basically. And the very predominant thing was on-foot Thargoids. And Darren said, so what do Thargoids look like? And I'd be really interested to know what you guys think Thargoids look like.
Who do you want to go first?
You go first, Ben. Go for it.
All right, I'm thinking something a bit like a giant. What the hell's it called? Locust kind of idea. Yeah, locust. Give it 6 arms. Make it sort of stand up. I'm not sure if they have wings or not. I kind of like the idea of them having wings, but I don't think they should have wings.
Personally, in my head, if I had to equate them to an Earth animal, I think it would be a termite. A termite soldier was specifically.
I feel like there's a lot of people have a lot of different beliefs in what they look like. I know there was some concept art which made them look a bit like stick insects a very, very long time ago. What about you, Scorp? What do you think a Thargoid looks like?
Well, in one of my videos, Commander Ascorbius actually punches one in the face.
And what does it look like?
It's like a insectoid kind of thing. It's got 6 legs, a big body. They're about 12 feet tall. It's I think it was as described in one of Drew Wagar's books. I think. Yeah, I'll take a screen grab of this. I know you can't, but it's like a big armor-plated, multiple-legged creature with a tail, and it's hang on, let me snip this for you, and I'll put it into the chat, and then you can see it, so you know what I mean. I'll chuck it into the Discord chat, and then you've got something. But yeah, basically insectoid, with horrible teeth and mouth and everything, and just nasty.
Okay.
You see it? That's in one of the videos I did.
Okay.
I don't know if you find some way of getting that up onto the stream.
Well, I'll be able to absolutely get it into the show notes for sure. Stream.
What about you, Si?
I'll get in
What
the
do you
chat.
think
What
of
do I think? So, for me, since the first season of Stranger Things came out, I always picture the way a Thargoid looks to look a little bit like the Demogorgon, but with like more flaps. And I kind of have this weird more flappy bits on the outside, because it's only 4 on the Demogorgon, and I think with 8 that might be quite interesting. But I don't know. I think that would be a really easy way out, is just put a different head model onto a humanoid body. Yes, the Demogorgon, but flappier. Little Biggie.
That's Kevin.
Exactly.
With a hat on.
That's just Kevin in a hat. Get it right. So Little Biggie just wrote, in the stack log we get, the specimen is highly resilient and seems to be able to withstand severe physical trauma, even to the point of losing limbs. I'm reminded of pulling the legs off spiders as a child. Fortunately, testing on a non-human means no legal red tape to slow things down. Tomorrow we begin experimenting with chemical and biological weapons. These creatures may be tough, but we will find their weakness. So that it lends itself to something with more legs than just 2. If it's happy to lose limbs and continue on its day. But pulling the limbs off a spider, I don't want them to look like spiders. That would not be a fun time for me. Sham.
Do you think, on the pulling legs off things theme, do you think they could look a little bit like a Daddy Longlegs, getting their revenge for all the kids that pulled legs off Daddy Longlegs? Which, of course, I never did. I never ever pulled legs off Daddy Longlegs to make all the wings off them.
Did you ever pull the wings off of a fly and turn it into a walk?
Oh God.
No, I was not cruel to animals at all. As I said, I never ever pulled the wings off a Daddy Longlegs to turn it into a spider. Never. So I don't know. Again, I think it's one of these things, a little bit like Raxus. We all have our image of what we want them to look like, but it's going to be different, I think, than what we've all imagined.
I hope it is, to be honest.
I kind of,
yeah.
I kind of don't want them to look like they've escaped from Doom, the game.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that.
You know, I don't want them to look cliche. I think that's what I'm coming for. We know they're insectoids and stuff like that, and I want them to look different. So you think, wow, that is so imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tucker, so Tom, hey buddy, Starship Trooper bugs, they look pretty good.
They do.
I'm hoping that there's going to be like wave upon wave of them for us to. 'Cause it's one thing mowing down humans in a settlement to go and get their accounts because that's what we need. But like when it's like defending a base that's on a planet that like the Thargoids have decided that they want, and they keep coming, and you need to bring other commanders might need to bring in some more ammunition and things like that, or more troops. That's the kind of gameplay I'd like to see. I'd like to see stuff like that. It's like they keep on coming. There's bloody thousands of them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want them to be as bullet spongy as the bugs in Starship Troopers, where it takes 1,000 rounds of ammunition, because just shooting things that have huge health bars, just for me, isn't absorbing gameplay. It's not fun. You just shooting it, and once you've got the mechanic down, you just shoot it some more and more, and it's not really. It's lazy gameplay, I think, if they are just bullet sponges.
What about when you get their health bar really low down, and then they mutate into their final form? They got a full health bar again, and now they
they have
different abilities.
And then you add a rage timer as well, just to make it even worse. Yeah.
Yes, they have to be vulnerable to grenades.
Obviously. Yeah, and they have to drop cat videos.
Cat media, specific cat media. You have to actually. It turns out that while the Thargoid vessels really like the tasty escape pods, smooth on the inside, crunchy on the outside, the actual Thargoids themselves, they they just can't get enough of cat memes.
Here's a question. I know we can feed escape pods to Thargoids, though, but does it matter if they're empty escape pods? Is it just the batteries in the escape pods that they like? Have we been like thinking that they're monsters this whole time? They're just no, we just really like the chemicals that are in the batteries.
I think they do only react to occupied escape pods, if I remember right.
Is that because they've been switched on and the batteries are being used now?
It's like you get that little tingle on your battery when you go and lick a 9-volt battery.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's like that. Oh, yeah, this is nice.
Is that their thing then? Is that what the Thargoids enjoy on their Thargoid hub videos? They just see Thargoids licking the equivalent of 9-volt batteries.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'd be like in an ammonia atmosphere. Yeah, maybe they're like we could solve this entire Thargoid war with the humans by just offering them a drink of Domestos. They'd probably love it.
Yeah.
So there you go, mate. Would you like some bleach?
So what you're saying is the Tide Pod challenge was incredibly ahead of its time.
Yeah. They if you send a bunch of Tide Pods over to the Thargoids, they'd be like, oh, nom nom nom. This for them. It'd be like those UFO sweets that have got sherbet inside.
Oh yes,
it'd be like that, wouldn't it?
Saying that, you mentioned about the cat media and cat videos and Thargoids. There is one of the tests, or the traditional test for sentience, is having a sense of humor, and I wonder if the cat video is what the Thargoids use for their sense of humor. I wonder if the joke is to have cat videos.
I know plenty of humans who are supposedly sentient that don't have a sense of humor.
Little Big Yin actually raises how we could test the sense of humor with they go off and they kill all engineers apart from Etienne Dawn.
who they then take forward to the Queen, and he's then the king. Is that what you mean? Some sort of interspecies?
Yeah, Thargoids are just really sarcastic.
Thargoids are they like you just don't get their humor. It's far too elevated for you. They're just all like hipsters.
Is this like that Red Dwarf episode? Breaking your leg hurts like hell. So hell, and then low, hello. They did it twice. To hello to you. They did it to us. So hello to you. Maybe they're just saying hello. Is that what it is? We just don't understand their language.
Possible.
Sounds like the tinfoil right there would be a little bit too tight.
But what does Mr. Flibble say?
Kind of.
Can't possibly do that. Who
when
would
we
clean
do
up
have,
the mess?
when we do see them, I hope they look radically different. I don't want them to be Star Trek aliens, which is just human looking with different nose and ears, which is,
And suddenly we're able to communicate with them so easily. Suddenly we all have babblefish and babelfish and it's fine.
yeah. Well, apparently though, I don't think anyone's ever seen it, so it's pure hearsay. But I believe David Braben has a rather large book that has everything you want to know about Thargoids, but was afraid to ask on it, and that is their lore Bible.
Yeah, Command Dispatch has been after that for ages.
He's not the only one.
I think David keeps it right next to the list of improvements they're going to make. But as for the event, there's lots I think we hope it could be, but I don't know. Maybe I'll become a bit too wizened and bitter and twisted about these things, but I think I have to expect modest things because it's not another DLC release, is it? It's not.
Oh, of course not.
It's not the big event that's due at the end of the year.
But
I'm
this
more
is-
excited about what's going to be at the end of the year.
So that is the end of the year thing or the beginning of next year thing is the thing that that are cited as like never having been tried in Elite before.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm more excited about than this update, to be fair.
But what this update is, aside from the bug fixes, is the bit which is going to lay the groundwork for the end of the Asimov saga. I think the next update that we get, the November update, is the beginning of the new narrative, even though we're getting potential hints of it already, but that's when the new narrative sort of like goes fully into fruition. It's going to be on the November update. So what I'm the thing is, I made that mistake of getting myself really involved in the story, like even more so than I thought I would.
You rebel scum.
I know, right? Traitorous rabble, that is Operation Witch Hunt. And so I can't help in this particular instance to be super hopeful.
You poor sweet summer child.
I know, right?
But I think the thing to remember is that they're narratively speaking, they're walking quite a fine line, I think, because if they make it if they raise expectations too much, then if they miss them, everyone's gonna lose interest and give up and go do something else. But it has to be big enough to keep people thinking, oh wow, this is really good. I want to see what happens next. Do you see what I mean? There's a balance they have to do. It's almost like a mid-season finale, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always a hard thing to write well.
It must be really nerve-wracking as well. I wouldn't want to be the person in charge of finishing off this narrative. Especially now knowing how many people are like really into it. Like there's a lot of tinfoil around. I feel like I personally I agree with Phoenix Blue entirely that the build-up has been really, really good. And oh my god.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be that person. Yeah, definitely they need to nail this. I think that's gonna make a huge difference.
Because what we don't want it to be is a season 8 Game of Thrones ending.
I don't know, I only watched the last couple of seasons and I quite enjoyed it. But with that controversy aside, is there any, like, aside from big narrative arcs, is there anything that you're like a little bit hopeful for as far as is this something? Is there a bug that's been bugging you that you're desperate to get fixed?
I want them to change the way you select a system by mouse clicking on it and holding your mouse still. You know, when you plot a system.
Well, the galaxy map.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I quite like that click and hold to do it. Yeah, I find that's a nice little shortcut, I find.
It's a pain.
Scorb, anything that springs to mind?
Things that I'd like to see. Oh, are we talking about realistic things?
Realistic things. Let's not go mental.
Okay. I hope that they see how much of a take-up there's been on this narrative arc. And because we went through the drought, and the drought was horrible. And, when we didn't even have Galnet. It's the dark times. I hope that they see how well this is done, and we see this not as a story arc that gets started and finishes, and now what? But it becomes part of something bigger. That they, instead of having just one narrative thread going on now, let's think about this. How big is the inhabited bubble? And there's only one main story arc like this. Let's have 5 story arcs in different parts of the inhabited bubble that you can follow, do whatever you want, and they are disconnected from each other, or are they? So to really get there, if you don't want to be doing Dargoid stuff, you don't care about that, fine, go do something else, but there's another story arc for you to work on. It would mean that they'd have to hire more writers, and they could work on this and put as much attention to detail that the whole Azimuth saga's had, because it's been really well received. Even to the point of people are asking proper philosophical questions about, are we doing the right thing here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're getting the right results, but the means, am I a monster now for wanting this? That's some good story writing. And the fact that you've got the anti side of this, it's got some legs. It's that just says they've done a good job with that story writing.
I think
let that continue.
What they've actually done is they've provided enough gaps in the story, in the narrative, for you to fill in mentally. And once you get people filling in gaps in their mind, that's when they're engaged. If you spoon feed them, then it's just in the story. But if you get them, they have to fill in gaps in their thinking or in the story, it then becomes engaging. And I think that's what they've done.
At one point in the last couple of weeks, we had 3 CGs going on at the same time, and that was awesome. Because it gave people the opportunity to, it gave transport opportunities, it gave Tharg bashing opportunities, and it also gave normal battering opportunities. And that was really, really cool. I'd love to see a little bit more. That's a really interesting way to see where player engagement goes. I don't think it was necessarily the best time right then, but sort of going forward, I absolutely agree with you. Some other bits and pieces running alongside the story, and then you go, oh, you can really get your tinfoil out and your red string and start connecting things where there's not connections.
Yeah,
I feel like it's easily doable.
Yeah, they should totally see that this got people playing and got people really engrossed in it, and they should do more of that, because it's something that the other games don't have. No Man's Sky. It's got great new expeditions and things. You start afresh each time, but it doesn't have this grip that holds people playing, keeps them playing way longer.
Are you talking about space games? Or are you talking about other games?
Space games.
Not talking about
general.
Guild Wars 2.
I generally don't play other kinds of games. I like my space games.
I have there's been people who have joined the Witch Hunt Discord to Batter Salvation, who have said that they haven't played for 6 months, and this has made them come back. And having the opportunity to do this, there's been people who wasn't even aware that the BGS was a thing, learning things through through which I've been learning like your basic BGS and how to another facet of the game. And the fact that this story has driven up, like this combination of the story has driven up so much engagement is I'm so chuffed for them to feel it sort of like turning back around in a more positive direction. Anybody else think of anything that they want to see? I'm with Shan with regard to the galaxy. The galaxy map's rubbish. I hate it so much. I find it so tricky to use.
What was wrong with the old way? I'm just old-fashioned, but what was wrong with the old way of doing it? But anyway,
I have to agree with you. It's I find it so tricky to use. So tricky to use, and I just I like the holding my mouse still. If I move it slightly, then the galaxy map's gone, and I'm pointing at a different star, and I'm like, why?
I might be using it wrong, or at least differently, in that most of the things I'm clicking on are actually bookmarks. So I just like dive into my galaxy map, and then I'll go and select a bookmark, and then press and hold, and it just takes me straight there. And I find that such a convenience; it's ridiculous.
so press and hold on LTI 3572.
Where is LTT 3572?
It's
You
to
like
you,
that?
right?
That wasn't too hard. I don't want to go there, but yeah, that wasn't too hard.
You mean actually on the screen on the map? Because it's actually
It's LTT, and I've done it.
We're a little bit behind you, but it's.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Oh yeah, but
no,
that's
it's
not.
fine.
I'll press and hold on Delta.
That didn't actually set the course then on Ben.
Yeah, but I've set it to Delta, so there. Or Barnard Star again. I don't see why it's so hard. But hey ho.
I feel like it needs more work. It just needs a couple of tweaks, and we might be there. And I might not complain about every bloody time I open the galaxy map, because I do. Anyway, that's kind of a downer, but let's face it. Let's see what happens next week at some point. We might even have patch notes to go through next week. We had patch notes last time. They were going to release it on a Tuesday, and then they didn't, and it came out on a Wednesday instead. So we might have something. We'll see. Shall we, in that case, move on to our community corner? To say that Too Hot, Too Messy starts this Thursday. I know that they have guests from on the Hutton Orbital stream. They will have guests from Frontier and the Burpit all getting their mug on. That's a strange way to put it, but getting mugs and gin ready to deliver to every single station in the galaxy. Over 130,000 of them.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Oh, I have arrived at Hutton Orbital.
I am 12 minutes out.
We might get there. We might get a meet come the end of this.
Well, Scorb needs to change into open as well.
I'm in open.
Okay, you're in open. I'll send a friend request then.
So Too Hot, Too Messy deliveries are tracked using the Hutton Helper, available at hot.forthemug.com. I did this the first time, and I will very very likely do this another time. It is so much. It was so much fun last time. It will be so much fun this time. Mug responsibly is a piece of advice that I might give you.
Is there a central list where they keep track of what's been visited and what hasn't?
Yes, you can visit it at hot.forthemug.com.
They have a list of it's amazing, but basically they will list the sites that haven't been mugged yet that you need to visit that are closest to you.
I mean, producing that list in itself is a feat, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
not just keeping track of it, but actually coming up with a list of places to visit is a feat.
Well, not really, because that's a list that is generated from IMDb. Not IMDb, EDDB, sorry.
It's the Hutton Helper. It's an add-on for EDMC. It is cracking, and it will allow to like follow up on all of the mug stuff that you need to do, and it's great. So I really, really, really can't wait for it to start. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last time. Highly recommend. Go and get involved with another thing, but not until we get Daddy Savlon out of Maya. Speaking of which, Commander Grimscrub from the AXI Discord and the OWH Discord has produced an awesome battle map of HIP 22360, which literally shows every megaship, every intensity of sight and all of that stuff, or every intensity of anti-Xeno CZ, which it's really cool. It's a really cool, good point of reference, because there's a lot of stuff happening over there for like 1 more week, apparently. And there might be some more stuff on Thursday. Who knows, as the Thargoid presence gets ever greater. We also have Commander Disemboweled Ego, who managed to yeet his SRV from HIP 22460 10C over to 10B, the permit locked site, and then he drove to the closest Thargoid structure.
I love this. This was
It's so good.
Wonderful. It was brilliant. So yeah, I followed the story on the forums, and also been covered by other YouTube channels. I just love the sheer determination and crazy thinking that makes this sort of thing happen. I just really, really, to be fair, I like this almost as much as I do the Thargoid content there, because it's just so silly, brilliantly funny.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. He obviously found out that there isn't anything there at the moment, but that's fine, because we weren't really expecting there to be anything, because it's permit locked. What it did result in happening was
this is the best bit, isn't it?
Pilots Federation not only went, oh crikey, but they locked 10C as well to make sure that we couldn't do it again.
That's just unfair. That is just such a
DICK
move. No, I don't think so. I think they should just leave it open and let players enjoy the challenge and being able to get there. Because this kind of it's spoil sport, really. It's like you're having a great game with your brother or sister when you're a kid, and you're not doing anyone any harm, and then your parents come in and tell you, can't do that, go back and do your schoolwork. Nah. Boo hiss to that.
Okay. I thought it was hilarious. The thing that isn't here, what I will add, because we are also getting towards the end of what we can do at the moment with Operation Witch Hunt. Just a little update. We are currently at the process where Azimuth Biotech are in retreat from Maya, which is the last system that we can, at the moment, retreat Azimuth Biotech from. So it would leave them with two systems that are currently. There was a Galnet article excusing why we couldn't flip T-Tauri, but because basically Salvation paid for it. But Maya is currently in retreat, and hopefully by maybe Saturday or Sunday, we might be down to 2 systems, which will be very, very cool. Very cool. And I should say that Commander, the wonderful Interius Fusion, creates and maintains the Hutton Helper, while I remember. Thank you, Ventura, for reminding me to say that.
Yeah. He also creates absolutely fabulous biltong, but don't rub his special sauce in your eye.
He also, on the first Hot Mess, created me a special overlay to use to say how many mugs I delivered, which was, I didn't ask for it.
That's nice.
It was amazing. It was so sweet of him.
That's lovely.
So yeah, that's Community Corner. We have a mostly clueless this week. Commander Terekov from the Fuel Rats has advised us that when approaching a station or outpost using the standard 7-second approach, as you get close, watch the speed distance indicator in the bottom left pane of your HUD. Once the speed indicator is in the blue region, you can forget about the time to target and you can increase your throttle to get there more quickly, as long as your speed remains in the blue area. Additionally, as Shouty pointed out, you can risk cutting things even finer and follow the 6-second line in.
Or you can just do the loop of shame and go, I meant to do that.
So, the buckyballers will have you know that it is quicker to do a loop of shame than it is to hit that 7-second and wait you in.
But you've got to do it's not quite the loop of shame. You're doing a
full loop of shame. Full loop of shame is quicker. There's a YouTube video. I'll find it. There's a YouTube video that works.
I'd say you're doing it the right way, though. If you know what I mean, it's not just oops, I forgot and I overshoot.
Oh yeah, no, you can't just go 20 minutes one direction and then turn around and come back. It doesn't.
Yeah, you can't go and do a side move on it.
Yeah.
Actually, in open, the loop of shame is a valid way of losing pursuers in Super Cruise. So it's it can be a useful toy because you can get your pursuer trapped in the gravity well if you and they stay stuck there while you can super cruise away and leave them floundering. But anyway.
Okay. Does anybody have any other business at all?
I'm buying mugs.
You're buying mugs?
I'm buying mugs.
Very nice.
Don't forget to buy your gin as well.
Exactly.
Put in the mugs.
You need mugs and gin.
Okay.
I don't think I've got any other business. I should be here next week, but maybe not the week after.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not here for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, we've got to find inflatable people left, right, and centre.
We do, I know.
I don't think I'm here the last week in August. It's holiday time! Hurrah! Everybody gets breaks. It's great. In which case, then I will move on to the shout-outs. The next episode of the Dex Legacy, Interlude 6, They're Afraid of You, will premiere on Lave Radio next week, the 9th of August, at 8 p.m. You can find more information on the Dex Legacy at thedexlegacy.com. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Trackers, or for just the audio at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a little bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts which have appeared over the last year or are standing regular contributors. You will notice that this list is slightly smaller. Thank you to DJ Wiley for just confirming when these podcasts stopped coming out. That said, if any of them restart again, or if you know of any more, we would love to add them as well. So those podcasts are Flight Assist, The Guard Frequency, and Loose Screws. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Wotherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Thank you to those who have chipped in on Twitch chat and in-game commanders. Has anybody seen anyone? Well, Ben won't have. Ben's just been flying down Orbital.
I'm 5 minutes away from seeing Scorb.
So how do we fill for 5 minutes?
I'm tempted to just troll him and leave.
I think that's a good suggestion.
That would be actually really, really funny. I would appreciate
But I
that.
do want you to. I want you to be able to see the weathered paint on this paint job, because we can see your
okay.
screen. So I won't leave. So this is
If
fine.
you wanted about 3 minutes of speculation, we can make up what Colin has been doing on holiday.
No, I'm not having that. That I'm drawing a line over. Colin is back next week, I believe. I've just said that Colin's going to be back next week without actual confirming it with Colin. I'm just assuming that he is back next week.
I have a possible addendum to that idea. You, me, and Scorb can speculate on what Shan is going to be doing on his holiday.
Murder, evil things, nefarious actions, setting fire to an orphanage. How long have we got?
Oh my goodness!
How can I be doing evil things when I have 4 Bengal cats, kittens even?
They're just operatives.
You can live in a cattery for a little bit.
You just set them on, give them a task. Yeah.
We've already heard that you've basically turned Shay Shan into a prison thing, like from.
It's basically
a concentration camp.
Concentration camp for cats. No.
Oh my god.
Yes, they're not Manx. I mean, you do have very elegant Shan. And Bengals do look lovely. I will agree there. But I mean, the description though of your back garden, it sounds harder to get out of than
Fort Knox, right?
It is if you're a cat. Yes.
Yes.
Cat this sentence. Well, there have been times when they've been trying to get out. We sort of like keep an eye on them, expecting to like put soil coming out of their paws.
Yes. Do. But yeah. So what things? Yeah, I'm assuming you. Well, we know what. Actually, this doesn't help. We know what Shan's doing, or at least I know what Shan's doing. But is Shan leaving a pile of dead bodies en route? That is a good question. I mean, is that why you're stopping off everywhere, Shan? You just sort of, you just go somewhere.
I think I can safely say I will be killing several thousand midges on my travel.
That is reasonable. But yeah, being serious actually, so Shan, what are you going to be? Are they going into? Have you got a cattery or a cat sitter or something?
No, what we've got a our lady comes around who walks dogs and stuff, our dog for us and stuff. So she's coming around and
she's
feeding.
diversifying, is she?
Yeah, I think I do feel sorry for though because the cats get so hungry, they're like fluffy piranhas with food at the moment.
That's a great description.
Bengals are really hungry though all the time.
Have any of you guys seen the Boys cartoon that's also on Prime?
Likely not that I can think of.
So one of the episodes of that, and it's a complete piss take from Warner Brothers 19 somethings. Like, baby goes for walk and shenanigans ensue, where with Guardian chasing after the baby. Except, of course, the baby has superpowers, and it's very, very bloody and things like that. But one of the things that they do in that is, the Guardian basically steals a police horse. The police horse then he jumps into an alligator pit, and then does the traditional running across the alligator's head when with the horse running over the alligator's head and the alligator's going nom 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 and missing.
You say
But
that you say that when our girl cat we call her nom nom cat because when she gets the food, her food, she goes nom 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 nom, and she'll actually growl at the big border collie.
Yeah.
If the border collie comes close, so yeah. But we thought about a cattery, but to be fair, I don't want to be rude to catteries, but if you've got normal-ish cats, catteries are great. but they have so many other cats to look after. They can't give them the amount of attention a Bengal needs to be de-stressed. So that's why we've got the dog sitter coming around and things. But then
and that seems fair as well.
But then the eldest Mini Shan is back on the Sunday, so we've got him to look after.
Okay, so is it just you and the wife?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that'll be nice, just the two of you then. What about? Do you have any holidays planned, Shai? Or are
Yes.
you doing anything?
Yes, I am. I'm going away at the beginning of. So, August bank holiday is Pride Cardiff, and I'm going to that. And then I think like the week after, we're going to like a caravan park in North Wales somewhere. I think.
I love North Wales. It's nice.
I've only ever really been in South Wales and like a little bit of mid to another
Is it near the
like a
coast?
cabin.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. Sort of up near Anglesey and that kind of idea.
Sure.
Best thing to do. Sorry. Best thing to do with the caravans that are near the coast, if you want to play a trick on your neighbours, is get some bread, split it up, and toss it on the roof of their caravan. And then the seagulls will come about 4 a.m.
I'm good. I think. I'm good for doing that.
Evil.
But yeah, we're going away for a couple of weeks, and by September, oh my god, I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, this is another thing for the Shan story notebook, isn't it? That
Adding to the algorithm, that's what you need to do every single time.
Yep. But yeah, so my holidays this year are my kids coming down and us doing stuff around Birmingham.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Plenty of stuff to do around Birmingham.
Oh god, yeah, and we've got some ideas for next. Well, we've got some concrete plans for next year actually that are already booked. On the assumption that there is a world this time next year, and fuel prices haven't gone ridiculous, and various other things. We also have insurance for holiday as well, just in case.
Just in case the world ends.
Get saved your lecky bills. Start overpaying your direct debit if you can.
Yeah.
They're reported to go up to 50 pence per kilowatt hour in October.
Yeah, I'm not going to even get started in that. I am now apparently 48 seconds away from
Perfect. Scorb,
We've
what are you
done a
doing?
really good job of wasting people's time.
I know, right?
We're trying.
Scorb, are you taking any holiday this year?
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Do you and Tokoso have any romantic plans?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, we'll see. We got something that might be happening, but we'll have to see about that. I did go around Scotland this year. Did the NC 500. That was really nice.
Lovely.
Recently come back from Somerset, which was lovely. Apologies for how I just said Somerset. I don't know why I did that. It was really nice, beautiful place, very hilly.
Do you think next week, because I won't be there, to fill in time, we should ask Colin to write a what I did on holiday like you did at school? Remember that when you go away on a summer holiday and you come back and you have to write what you did on summer holidays.
I like the idea of us getting a book.
What we did on holiday.
Yeah. Although I think, well, he has been checking in on us, making sure that we behave at least a little bit.
Well, he hasn't done a good job this show. Has he?
Hey, this show we knew that this show was cursed from the beginning. We knew it was going to happen. It was fine. It's entirely down to me, Scorb. It's not a problem. It's absolutely not a problem. It's entirely my fault.
I could get a little upset. I mean, I haven't, but I could get a little upset.
Question is, will Ben now do a loop of shame?
No, he won't. He's navlocked.
I'm navlocked to Scorb, and Scorb is pulling me in.
Oh my!
Hey,
I can even see him. My God, we're even in the same instance.
So does Scorb go?
This is where Scorb
Ben, you're
right
pulled.
now.
Oh, Ben, you're pulled.
Oh God!
Wow.
Scorb's bad blocking.
No, I'm not.
I can't land on it. Are you? What?
not
Oh no,
padlocking.
oh no, you're not. You're there.
It's
Okay.
not me. Why do I always get the blame?
Sorry, Scorb. Somebody's padlocking.
Wow.
Just cruel.
Makes
Cruel and
excellent
unusual.
podcast material. Let's have a look at this ship then.
Scorb is currently sporting a tasty little black and white number.
Oh.
No, black and white. White and red number with some. He's got some pointy bits at the side. Ooh, what are they?
It must be evening wear then, if it's black and red.
No, it's red and white. Although he is looking a bit rough and ready as well.
Can I put the lights on?
So you. Oh!
Oops, wrong button.
Hang on, you just took your shields off.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button.
Okay.
Just trying to put my lights on.
Hang on, there we go.
Wow,
are you going?
Ben.
I'm reverse. Am I reversing?
Ram in, Ben.
Don't ram him, Ben.
I'm not
You've
going
just
to ram
flown to Hutton
him.
Orbital. Don't ram him.
I'm not ramming him.
Look how
It
damaged
does
the
look
paint
really
is.
good.
I like that. I don't know what that thing is on top of you, but I like it.
Yeah, that's
Easy.
the set of lights.
Yeah, but what the hell are those lights? I mean, those lights are bloody massive.
Mm-hmm. My shields are back now.
Yeah,
It's
you should-
wonderful. It looks wonderful. Well, I think we can all agree that was incredibly worth it.
Well, that
Totally
must be
worth
the
it.
best 5 minutes of your life, isn't it?
I mean,
They'll never get back.
second only to my wedding day, Ben. Second only.
They'll never get it back, and they don't want it back.
Why? What happened on your wedding day?
I'm joking.
Paris?
So, right, back onto this then. Special thanks to Commander Takoso, Jay Trax, and Alan Stroud, who created the music used on the show. That's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you would like to get in touch with the show, then you can email info@laveradio.com, hit us up on facebook.com/laveradio, tweet us @laveradio. You can join our Discord server by going to discord.io/laveradio. We also have a TeamSpeak server where commanders come to hang out and chat, which you can find at teamspeak.laveradio.com. Do get in touch if you have any questions or if there is anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 UK time and streamed out on laveradio.com/live. Thank you to Shan, thank you to Ben, thank you to Scorb, and special thanks today to today's tech specialist, Chris Mark 4. Until next time, commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
It's not like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word.
Space can be loaded.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 2nd of August 3308, We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the permit lock spreads to a second planet. Commander Zulu Romeo has a peace plan. We look at how to install mugging software in your cockpit, and we demonstrate just how easy it is to complete a buckyball race.
The Pilots Federation, which in July last year attempted to dissuade Commander from assisting Salvation in his attempts to undermine Aegis, has extended its newfound cooperation with the rebel scientist by permit-locking a second planet in the HIP 22460 system. It's widely believed that Salvation, acting for Azimuth Biotech, requested the permit locks to prevent Commander from seeing the reality of the Proteus wave weapon before it's ready to fire. The Pilots Federation, which now seems to be working with its former enemy, applied the permit lock to HIP 22460 Planet 10b, which is where the Proteus wave has been assembled, several weeks ago. It applied the second permit lock to closely adjacent Planet 10c, after an enterprising commander managed to fly an SRV between the planets and thus evade the permit lock. An Apex taxi was dispatched to remove the unwanted commander. The Pilots Federation has denied that it's working closely with Salvation, insisting instead that it is acting exclusively in the interests of its members. Azimuth Biotech claims to be interfacing the Guardian-powered Proteus wave with one of the Thargoid structures on Planet 10b, something that's known to be highly dangerous.
In related news, Commander Zulu Romeo has appealed for commanders to work for peace by presenting Salvation with a peace offering in the form of both Guardian and Thargoid technology to be delivered to Azimuth Biotech's 4 megaships, the Glorious Prospect and Musashi in Pleiades Sector CW-U, B3-2, and the Bright Sentinel and Heart of Taurus in HIP 22460. The items, with their symbolism, are as follows. Thargoid items. Sensor, representing the ears of the universe. Probe, the insatiable curiosity of sentient life. Link, the ties that bind us all and link each other. Resin, the glue that keeps us secure together. Technology sample, the technology to reach the stars. Biological matter, living beings in all forms. Guardian artifacts. Orb, representing our view of the universe. Casket, our material possessions and wealth. Tablet, the knowledge we gain and pass on. Totem, our belief in things greater than ourselves. Urn, a reminder of the past and of family and loved ones. Relic, purest energy, the spark of life. Finally, Commander Zulu Romeo asks that we take to Salvation an offering of classified experimental equipment representing the will of humanity itself and a means to mediate and moderate over the conflicting factions. Commander Zulu Romeo hopes that by having a mixture of Guardian and Thargoid technologies on board the Azimuth megaships when the Proteus wave is fired, creating massive resonances that are magnified by the presence of all that technology, that Azimuth Biotech and everyone on board the 4 megaships will be fast-tracked to their final salvation, thus bringing peace to the galaxy.
Meanwhile, Operation Witch Hunt is on the point of forcing Azimuth Biotech out of the Maya system, leaving Salvation's faction with a presence only in Mbuni and Titori. Operation Breakwater has declared success in the first part of its initiative to gather equipment to jam the Proteus wave signal to reduce the potential harm it may do. On the pro-salvation side of things, the combat against Thargoids in HIP 22460 has been extremely well supported. The initiative to help rebuild Salvation's laboratories to help him take advantage of captured Thargoid technology is doing rather less well, although it's met its minimum success criterion. Salvation will be able to do his analysing. There's no definite word on when the Proteus wave will be fired, but with another combat initiative planned to start on Thursday, the following Thursday, the 11th of August, seems the most likely date for the biggest firework display in the galaxy.
The very hot, very messy initiative to deliver a Hutton mug and a bottle of Megagin to every single station in the galaxy is a huge undertaking. Bruce Steak Garrido is expected to launch the event at 1930 galactic time on Thursday the 4th of August, and progress will be tracked using something called the Hutton Helper. To get the Hutton Helper working, you need to install EDMC and link it to your Cmdr account. You then need to download the zip for the Hutton Helper, unzip it into a suitable named folder, and then open EDMC, select File, Settings, and then click on the Plugins tab. You then need to click on Open on the right and drag the Hutton Helper folder into the Plugins folder. Go back to the Hutton website and create an account. You'll be emailed instructions to type something into your comms window in the cockpit, which links your Hutton account to you as a commander. And now finally, with EDMC running and with the Hutton Helper plugin running, you'll be able to fly to Hutton Orbital, buy your mugs and gin, plan where you're flying to, sell the commodities into markets, and see your contribution to the initiative update in real time. Or at least you will be able to after 1930 on Thursday, when the site goes live. This may sound complicated, but remember, it is rocket science.
The latest Buckyball time trial in the Magic 8-Ball Championship, just finished, is Falling with Style, Flat as a Pancake Remix, curated by Osric the Wise. Also known as Chicken Run Crash Harder, the idea was to buy a crystalline sphere, take it to a few surface bases, and then take it back to the start. It doesn't sound hard, does it? The planets you land on have gravity. This should not come as a surprise. As a champion buckyballer, Commander Wotherspoon thought he'd give it a go and demonstrate a few tips, but only after the race was over, to avoid helping the competition. Lots of people tell you that you need to keep the approach timer on 6 seconds. That's not actually true. If you can manage the approach so your speed drops just within the blue line as you enter the drop zone, with 1 second showing on the approach timer, you can save valuable seconds. It's very important not to overshoot though, as you may not drop out at an optimal distance from the starport. That's Snow Moon over there. It looks very pretty from this distance, doesn't it? We need just one ball. The other one's in the Albert Hall. Now we need to fly around to each of the bases, land, take off, rinse, repeat, until we get back to where we started. It's very important not to drop the ball. It's easy to make the mistake of taking the regulation build loadout specification too literally. If your approach is to strip out all the modules and then only fit the modules specified by the so-called buckyball experts, you may overlook the need to have a planetary approach suite fitted before you try to land at a planetary base. Thankfully, there's outfitting available just 1,000 light seconds away. It's only a short detour. You can make up time by supercharging your frameshift drive at a white dwarf. It's very useful, risking your ship's integrity for that last 7.5 light year jump. Landing on high-gravity planets is very easy, really. You just need to level out at the end of the glide, request your landing permission, and maintain an even keel at all times, making sure not to use either your up or down thrusters at all. You can angle very gently down and slide down the invisible slope to your landing pad. Scraping down the side of a skyscraper is optional but extremely stylish. And the flip upside down when you hit the ground is a way of showing just how in control of the situation you are. And there we are, crossing the finish line in record time. That run was almost flawless. It's sure to earn a podium position.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We install the plugins, but that doesn't mean you don't have to.